And so I read back in I want to say there was a Harvard study that came out. I'll send a link to it, and it was basically like there's two frames of thought. Do we limit kids and their interaction with technology and things like iPads or smartphones or computers, digital pacifiers, I would call them, or or do we give them unfettered, unrestricted access to these technologies and see what happens? And the Harvard study concluded that the latter, unfettered access, would allow them eventually to get to a point of self-regulation, boredom, and being able to kind of self-soothe with technology, but not because it's addictive. And so I can tell you as N of 4 now that that's the way we went with it. We gave unfettered access for the most part. We still use it as a privilege, but like, for example, Ben, our 16-year-old,
not yet.
Have you met my son yet? So we'll introduce you to him. He's 16. He's been on an iPad since he was very little, right? He was playing video games at 18 months proficiently, like really good at video games since 18 months. So he kind of leaned into it. And because I read this study, we let him, and we still monitored him. And he, he had his ups and downs, and he had a lot of challenges, and he actually disagrees with what I'm telling you, but I saw the whole thing. He doesn't remember the beginning in the early ages, but today he's writing software to keep inventory in the operating room. He's 16 years old. His second job is writing software for an operating room. So he is going to be, one of these technologists that take us into the future of this, because he's had unfettered access to these technologies since he was born. Now, were there emotional ups and downs as a result of it? Absolutely. Is an iPad a drug? For sure. Does it give you the same stimulation and endorphins and drug-like opioid type effects? Absolutely. But at one point he said, you know what? I'm bored with this thing. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm bored. And you started hearing, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored. And that was the breakthrough. That was where he was like, what else do I want to do? So now he's an artist. He's learning how to draw and paint. He takes care of chickens. He's got his own flock of birds that he loves very much. He turned out to be a good person.